approach graduation season, we're reminded of one well-known program within the Great Falls community. Excellence in Education recognizes high-performing seniors and the educators who have guided them along the way. MTN's Lindsay Hyatt shares the second installment of this four-part series.
Each year, 34 students select 2 teachers who've helped them walk the path to success to be honored by the Great Falls Public Schools Foundation.
Since the public won't be able to attend this year's ceremony in person, we're bringing their stories to you. That's 3 stories from each of the 3 high schools, 3 students, 6 teachers, and 1 excellent education.
Standing tall and proud is Samantha Faulkner, an academic practically since preschool.
She just had that drive even from the preschooler.
Samantha was born with a genetic disorder that interfered with her hearing and seeing abilities.
I have Stickler syndrome, which is why I'm short-statured. I wear glasses that are pretty thick, so I have a pretty bad vision loss, and then I have a hearing loss. And I also have some joint problems because it's a collagen-affecting disorder.
And at just 18 months, she began her schooling at the Montana School for the Deaf and Blind.
So Mrs. Moog, she was a teacher of mine at Montana School for the Deaf, where we had a little class of 6 kids, and she was always just so uplifting and positive, and made me feel confident in myself.
Confident enough to advocate for herself in the classroom.
Like for Samantha growing up, being in the public school and transitioning into that environment, she needed to be comfortable letting the teacher know what her needs were. If she couldn't hear or she needed a better seat in the classroom and those types of things. And it was my goal to get her ready to go on to that environment because I knew that's where she was going to thrive.
Mrs. Moog was right because as a sophomore, Samantha transferred to Great Falls High School where she aced her AP and honors classes thanks to self-motivation and advocacy.
I've definitely learned to adapt in the classroom of sitting closer for hearing and vision. I wanted to be good at something, and so school was kind of what I put my mind to be good at.
She would do well in anything that she chose to do. That's part of her personality too.
Samantha's Spanish teacher was equally impressed with the high achiever's perseverance in her academics and personal life.
She has had some health issues for a large part of her life, and the fact that she's just overcome that. To be honest, as a teacher of her, I never would have known that at first, which I think is a compliment to her. But then as you learn that she has had those issues, it just, again, it makes her stand out even more as somebody who has really overcome something big.
Samantha overcame not 1 language barrier, but 2, taking on a foreign language as a hard-of-hearing student.
Spanish is hard to learn for a hard-of-hearing person. It's different noises, it's a lot of listening. And she was always just super helpful if I, wasn't saying something right or if I didn't hear something. And she's just so positive and radiates just bright energy. And she made it super easy and super fun. And in fact, I feel so comfortable in myself with Spanish, I'm gonna minor in it in college next year.
To her lifelong teachers, Samantha says,
"Thank you for shaping me into the woman I am today."
And to her, they express their thanks.
Thank you for being a wonderful student.
And pride.
And it just gives me goosebumps because I'm just super proud of her, super proud.
Towards the young woman they had the privilege of calling a student. In Great Falls, Lindsay Hyatt, MTN News.
Now, Samantha and her teachers are 3 of 45 Great Falls High honorees from this year's Excellence in Education program. Tune in next Saturday for a story from a Paris Gibson education student.